All right, let's talk about something that pretty much all of us pay for, but honestly, very few of us really get: home insurance. It's one of those bills that just comes out of your account and you just kind of hope you'll never ever actually have to use it. But what happens when you do?
So let me ask you a question, straight up. You pay that premium every single month, like clockwork. But if disaster struck tomorrow, could you, right now, explain what you're actually paying for? Like what's covered, what's not, what you're supposed to do? If you're like most people, the answer is probably a shaky, not really.
And that gap, that not really knowing, that's where a huge power imbalance gets created. Because when you have to make a claim, it's not a conversation between two equals. It's, well, it's an unfair fight.
I mean, just look at the two sides of the ring. In one corner, you've got the insurance company. They have entire teams of adjusters, squads of lawyers, and literally decades of experience fighting these battles. And in the other corner, there's us, the homeowner, armed with what? A policy we've probably never read, and a whole lot of hope that they'll just do the right thing.
When you see it laid out like that, it's just so clear, isn't it? That is absolutely not a fair fight. It's like you're playing a game where the other team wrote the rule book, they know every single loophole, and they've got all the pros on their side.
So what can you do? It feels kind of overwhelming, right? You can't outlawyer them or outspend them. So what's the move? Well, it all comes down to one really powerful tool that can start to balance the scales, and that's pure, simple education. And what we mean by pure education is exactly what it sounds like. There are services out there, for instance, whose only job is to teach you. They're not trying to sell you insurance. They're not going to handle your claim. Their entire mission is to give you straight, unbiased information that levels that playing field. The whole point is to arm you with knowledge so you can advocate for yourself. Okay, so what's actually in this educational toolkit? What's the secret sauce that takes you from being a homeowner who's just crossing their fingers to one who's actually empowered? Let's break down what you really need to know. And look, the path to getting this knowledge is actually pretty straightforward. This isn't about you having to become an insurance expert overnight. It's a much simpler process. You can join a live masterclass, learn directly from people who've been on the inside of the industry, and then use what you've learned to get real control over your own policy. The really crucial part is what you learn. We're not talking about vague advice here. We're talking about learning how insurance actually works behind the curtain, not the version you see in the commercials. You learn how to read that policy you've been ignoring. You learn what your rights actually are. And maybe most importantly, you learn about the common, costly mistakes that you need to avoid. For example, a lot of people have no idea they have a right to an independent appraisal if they disagree with a company's damage estimate. Just knowing that one thing can be a total game changer. So when you put all of this together, it really becomes a clear call to action. Once you realize the massive disadvantage you've been at, the only logical next step is to stop playing the game blindfolded. It's time to take back some control. And listen, this isn't some fringe idea. This is a choice that thousands and thousands of homeowners have already made. They recognize the same imbalance and decided, you know what? I'm going to do something about this for myself and my family. This has become a kind of rallying cry. It's about more than just protecting your own house. It's about joining a whole community of people who are informed, who are proactive, and who are just done. They're done playing blind and just hoping for the best. They're choosing to be prepared instead. So we end up right back where we started, but now with a totally new perspective. The playing field, yeah, it might be uneven, but it doesn't have to stay that way. The power to change the whole dynamic is right there for the taking, and it all starts with knowledge. So the only question left is, are you ready to level it?